What's up, everybody, and welcome back to part 4 of my Marcia Clark book review. Without a doubt, her #1 New York Times bestseller book about her experiences in the O.J. Simpson trial, the trial of the century. So here we go, part 4. Marcia Clark starts out by saying the first time she had to give a press conference in regards to this trial, she was worried about being nervous, but then felt a sense of calm, and she thought, this is it. You were meant to do this. Marcia Clark states she told a reporter that it was predetermined murder and it was done with deliberation and premeditation. Marcia Clark talks about how she said O.J. Simpson was the sole murderer in the case, but she meant to say sole suspect. She thought she blew it with that mistake. She realized it instantly, but reporters didn't seem to notice and just kept asking other questions. She talks about how Robert Shapiro didn't have a problem with her using the word murderer. He had a problem with her using the word soul, as in soul murderer, as in he was the only one, as he's the only suspect. Marcia Clark states she shouldn't have used the word soul murderer or soul suspect. Marcia Clark states she should have said prime suspect, not soul. Marcia Clark states at this point she realized every word that she said for the duration of this trial in the courtroom and to the press would be analyzed. Marcia Clark talks about how when Kato Kaelin returned to the grand jury to testify on June 20th that he was a bit more cooperative this time around and did agree to answer questions. Kato Kaelin talked about how he lived at Nicole Simpson's house for a while, but O.J. Simpson did not like that and offered him a place to stay rent-free at his own place, which Kato Kaelin took. Kato Kaelin talks about how he witnessed a scuffle between O.J. and Nicole Brown Simpson in the fall of 1993, which police were called to. Kato stated in the original police report that O.J. Simpson was upset that Nicole was seeing other people. Now, at this point in time, they're divorced. It should not matter if she's seeing other people or not. Clearly, O.J. Simpson had some jealous tendencies about him. Kato Kaelin states now that they returned from McDonald's. Now, this is big. States that the time frame changed a little bit, 10-15 minutes earlier, that they returned from McDonald's at 9:45 p.m. the night of the murders, which opens the time frame even more, and that it was 10:53 p.m. when O.J. Simpson actually responded to the limo driver. Kato Kaelin talks about hearing 3 large thumps on his back wall the night of the murders. He later would state in the civil case that it sounded like somebody crashing against his back wall, but for the grand jury, Kato talks about hearing 3 large thumps on his back wall. Kato states that he saw a knapsack laying in the grass. The knapsack was never found in the pieces of luggage that O.J. Simpson brought back from Chicago. Marcia Clark talks about how the coroner's investigator stated that Nicole was alive at 11 p.m., which she thought was strange, and if true, would put O.J. Simpson in the clear. It states that he said that she was alive at 11 p.m. because she was talking to her mother on the telephone. This, of course, would later turn out to be untrue. Phone records would show the call actually took place at 9:45 p.m. Marcia Clark states that she has seen thousands of coroner's photos over the years, but none were ever as gruesome as Nicole Brown Simpson's. State that she bled out almost 90% of the blood from her body. Man. Marcia Clark states a witness named Jill Shively came forward and stated she saw O.J. speeding northbound on Bundy right around the same times as the murders. The next morning. Now, this is what Jill said to the grand jury. She also stated she had not talked to anyone else about this other than her mother. The next morning, Marcia Clark finds out that Jill indeed lied to them about that, about not talking to anyone outside of her mother about what she saw, because she had already appeared on the TV show Hard Copy. Marcia Clark made Jill return to the witness stand for the grand jury and asked the grand jury to disregard anything they heard from her about her testimony in this case. Thankfully, Marcia Clark had other timeline witnesses like Alan Park, who was the limo driver. Alan Park stated he did not see the white Ford Bronco parked outside of O.J. Simpson's house when he got there, which was important because O.J. said the Bronco had been parked there all evening. Alan Park states he saw a black male crossing O.J. Simpson's lawn at 10:53 p.m. Cell phone records later indicate that it was 10:55 or 10:56 p.m. when he saw the person crossing O.J.'s lawn, because that's when he was talking to his boss on the phone asking how he should proceed because O.J. Simpson was not answering the buzzer at his house. A minute later, after the sighting, was when O.J. finally answered the buzzer. Alan Park then described a bag that Kato Kalin reached out to help O.J. with, but O.J. said, no, I got this. Marcia Clark thinks that this was the knapsack that Kato Kalin talked about, the knapsack that did not make it back from Chicago. Alan Park stated, on the way to the airport, O.J. kept complaining about how hot he was, wanted the AC on, wanted the window down. Marcia Clark states that this was odd because it was a cool evening in California. Up next for the grand jury was the Mezzaluna, which was the restaurant that Nicole Simpson and her family ate at. She was up next for the grand jury. Her name was Karen Crawford. States Nicole and her party left the restaurant between 8:30 and 9. States shortly after they left, she got a call from Judith Brown, who is Nicole's mother, stating that she had lost her glasses. Karen found them, put them in an envelope, and states a few minutes after that she got a call from Nicole around 9:30 to 9:45. States arrangements were made for Ron Goldman to deliver the glasses, and he left the restaurant shortly after that. The whole situation is just terrible, but what a terrible set of circumstances for Ron Goldman. Now, he was obviously killed because he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, there's a lot of speculation that him and Nicole had a relationship or whatever, but that should not matter. That does not matter. Who cares if they had a relationship or not? OJ clearly had jealousy issues. Now, here's my question. Now, get inside, if possible, get inside OJ's head. I'm going to try to, I want to understand what OJ Simpson was thinking. What was it in his mind, I am not condoning any of this, so let's just make that clear. In his mind, what was he thinking that Nicole did that was so terrible around this time that led him to feel like he had to kill her? They were together at their daughter's dance recital earlier that day. There's video footage of it. He went to McDonald's with Kato Kalin. What in his mind set him off that he felt like he had to go do this? I mean, clearly it was premeditated. He wore the hat. He wore the gloves. He brought a knife. Allegedly. Yes, he was found not guilty for all of this. Okay, I get it. But let's go with the narrative that he did it. Why? What was it that set him off? It's so weird. Like, went to the dance recital, went to McDonald's, and then decided to go kill his ex-wife, the mother of his children. He wasn't wearing a glove. He wasn't wearing gloves and a hat because it was freezing cold in California. I've been to LA many times. I've been to Brentwood. It's that time of any time of the year it's warm, but that time of the year it's not cold. Was it a cool evening? Sure, maybe. But enough for a knit cap and gloves? I don't think so. So what was he doing what was his thought process? And who was the person that crossed, if it's not OJ, who was the person that crossed OJ's lawn somewhere around 10:53, 10:54, 10:55 p.m. and then the buzzer answered and it was OJ? Who was the person that crossed OJ's lawn? If OJ's innocent, who was that? I don't know. There's lots of unanswered questions that we will probably never get the answer to, because there's only like, I don't know, 1, 2 people that know what actually happened. The people that were there, the people that did the crime, I don't know. Such a crazy case. But that's where I'm going to end part 4. Let me know what you think of the book and the case up until this point. Let's not jump ahead. Let's only talk about what we know so far, as when the Mezzaluna manager took the stand at the grand jury. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon.